Matching tea and coordinating clothes.
Yes, it's brilliant.
Yeah, if we get Arthur in a picture with his teacup and his sweater, and then we just also coordinated.
We are.
We are very coordinated. Okay, so cheers. We have tea.
Yes.
This is a very tea-like meeting. Aunt Pera once ran a tea shop in somewhere in Sussex. Old, somewhere pretty. Anyway, yeah.
Well,
I feel like she's done everything, Aunt Pera.
Aunt Pera did a lot.
Aunt Pera is not a person. Aunt Pera is a way of life.
Be more Pera.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. Great Aunt Pera, whose desk is downstairs. Nick works at Great Aunt Pera's desk. She is real. This is her brooch, a gift from a trip to Milan in the 1940s from her lover, Michael. She was orphaned. First worked as a laundry maid at Castle Howard, the one in Brideshead Revisited. Moved to London, trained as a cook. Paid off her training. Trained as a typist because she wanted to go out dancing, even though she didn't get as much money. But she started work as people's personal assistant. And looking at her adventurous past, because we are making a fragrance called Pera's Adventurous Past for the At Your Peril podcast collaboration. So I was thinking, which of the many adventurous times in her life should we try and represent in a fragrance? Because she also ran the factory that made rivets that held Spitfires together in a secret bakery in Fulham during World War II.
So cool. Every time I hear that story, it makes me smile.
I know, it's great, isn't it? And then when there were no more rivets needed, she went and ran, she assisted at running a refugee camp in Forli in Italy after the war. And Michael was there too. And then she ran a kennels in Holland, and she did actually say to me that Italian and French were quite easy to learn, but Dutch is frightfully difficult. No. I mean, she's very working class from Middlesbrough, but become a servant, you sort of, you learn the ways, you learn the ways. So, just before World War II, she was working in a very lovely house in Cannes, just down the road from Grasse, where the perfume industry is still, for Lady Colebrook, who I just looked up. Because I knew these stories, but I didn't really do the research. Well, my goodness, the house. I thought it was a little cottage.
I must see the house. We will do that.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
It is.
Dreamy.
Yes. It's available for private hire.
Oh, wow.
If you're in Cannes, has got 12 bedrooms. So she was running that for Lady Colebrook. And I thought that we would make her Oris Chypre fragrance from that time when she was actually in the south of France surrounded by all these perfume companies. And that house was a very cosmopolitan, very multinational place. And we were talking multinational upper class.
Right, yeah.
So we're talking, like, I know that the Glub Pasha visited, who apparently was very charming. I've looked him up. Doesn't seem quite so charming in real life.
Yeah, I mean, maybe charming if, like,
if you didn't actually line up people and assassinate them, if you didn't... That stuff, so... seriously, I mean, this man was...
He sounds awful.
Terrible. But he was apparently quite charming when he came round for tea at Lady Colebrook's. She was an artist, she was a sculptor. And her husband spent most of his time at court with King George VI, who she said was very boring.
That's so cool.
So she would come down to south of France to the family home. So they had, the odd Maharaja, the film stars, and anybody who happened to be hanging around in Cannes. So now that we've incorporated her in sort of fictional form into a story.
Yeah.
So this is kind of half real and half imagined, but she was really, really real, and I liked her a lot.
And the stories when by the time this video goes out, I imagine the story will be out.
The story will be out,
So people
so
can
we
listen
can
to
so
it
we can
to hear the
say.
inspiration.
Yeah,
So-
it's going to be releasing on the 31st.
Yeah.
No, it'll be on the week after.
Yeah.
Oh,
The,
wait.
the series is out on the 31st.
Yeah, no, I mean the series I've got
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But on the 8th of November, your story will be,
Yeah.
be up.
Good. Not 7th? 7th.
Well, 7th at midnight, so it's really the 8th, isn't it?
It is really, yeah. So, is it best to dip? Probably not. I'll dip a tiny little bit in the edge of this because it's kind of solid and sticky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is going to be
Thank God.
the basis because
Ooh.
a chypre fragrance is mossy.
Funnily enough, I fell in love with Chypres when I came here. Turns out I'd always liked them. I never knew what the word was it for why I liked it until I came here.
Yes.
I still don't really know what it is.
What it really means, yes. We shall. I think one day we'll make a film about fragrances people don't know are chypres, so they don't know that why they like them.
Fragrance categories
Yeah.
in general actually would be quite
Yeah, I think we did one, but a long time ago.
good. Yeah.
Or maybe we didn't do it properly. I just did it myself. So, this is the oak moss. Natural oak moss with the scary bits taken out. So, we're still using this.
Oops, I've got some.
So we're looking at pre-war, rich, deep. I mean, there were a lot of successful British perfume companies until we got cut off from the continent. It happened once in 1914, happened again in 1939, it's happened again. But each time the British perfume industry is devastated. So let's see if we can keep going. But yes, everyone was using oak moss for their chypre
It's
fragrances.
fantastic.
And I've decided to do the thing. I've decided to do one of those historical cut-off points. So I will use nothing in this that was not available before 1939. So I mean, it won't have Isoe Super and Hedione in it. It can't because they're 1950s, 1960s. So we're going to do one of those. Also important in this one is this, and of course I should have diluted it. We can smell because it's not coming out.
Ooh.
This is.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you want the cap? Oh,
I think we
silent.
they did this for another video, the Orison Violet.
Yeah, Iris and Violet's one.
It's
So-
so good.
Yep. So that is the natural Oris because
Wow.
when we crowdfund, if we sort of get it together all at once, I can buy everything I need for it and do it, and so I can be a little bit lavish. So
Do you want to stop off and have the actual thing?
No.
it's the same.
Oh, is it the same? Oh wow, it is the same. Okay. It's really, really good.
Yeah, snipping off caps is fine. It's a good plan. Yeah, so oak moss and Oris are going to be features. Other things. Now here's something. This is what will stop it from being a copy of anything that was around at the time.
Oh, okay.
So, because, and this is why I mentioned Maharajas and multinationalism. Here we go.
Well, I also think it's like important to think about France and their empire. Like, of course, they had
This
Northern-
wasn't their bit.
No, but they had Northern Africa, so you're going to
Yeah.
have that exchange of people.
We're going to have, there's another bit that's, I've left it behind, but yes, I'm going to take into account the fact that the Club Pasha might have brought over Moroccan stuff. Yeah, yeah,
We
they
don't like it,
that
but we
stuff.
like Moroccan stuff.
Yes,
Chickpeas.
yes. Do you know what this is?
Mitiata.
Yes, it is
gorgeous.
Mitiata. So this is from L.M. Ram Narain in Kanauj in India, made in a very, 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 very traditional way. So I thought, I've been promising them for months now that I will incorporate my Miti Attar into a fragrance, and I just keep smelling it and thinking, I don't know, but I am going to do it. So
Remarkable.
Yeah,
So,
that's yummy.
tell us how it's made.
it is made with the co-distillation of sandalwood and clay pots, like earthenware. So that's why it smells of clay. It smells almost of if you had carved a bath out of sandalwood and then filled it with that lovely mud you get mud bath in
It's true. Yeah.
and sat in it. And right, I dipped that a bit too deep. And I'm going to incorporate a little bit of this as well, because a lot of traditional shikos were quite spiced. And this, no, it's just the, it has an interesting noise, sound effect.
Ooh, yummy. That's lovely.
And this is from the same people, Emil Ramnarain, from Kanhoj. Saffron, Attar Saffron. So this one is actually co-distilled 5 times. The other one is, did I say 15 times? It's co-distilled 15 times with clay pots and sandalwood. This is saffron and sandalwood. This one was co-distilled 5 times because that's what it needs. It's not that it's less.
I just want this. I just put it on my skin.
It's really, really,
It's
really
just
nice.
so yummy.
Which actually you can, because it's mostly sandalwood with this little bit of the saffron. So saffron is restricted, but this has very, very little that actual saffron left in it. So
It's gorgeous.
yes, so I want to incorporate that.
I feel like
It's
you could just
remarkable.
put that with a bit of icing super in a bottle, shake it up, spray it on.
Yeah, stir it delicately.
Yeah, stir it delicately.
But
I
yeah.
like my perfume shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. Name is McBain, Arthur McBain.
Oh, the cloud cover is causing me grief today.
Yeah.
There we go.
Suddenly we
It's all right, we
disappear
just keep
into
going.
the
Just
darkness.
Apologies to everyone if it just looks a little.
If we just disappeared, gone a bit grainy. Okay, things I also want to see. Things I'm aiming to include. I forgot to bring up the rose, but the rose is going in. The rose is going in. My Moroccan rose is going in.
Ooh.
I don't want.
After film, I must have a smell.
Yeah. oh, in fact, it's on the shelf. It's the Rose Absolute on the shelf. I'll get some. Okay.
I think. Oh,
So this is.
that's a Popinax.
Yes, it is.
It's every time I read it, Popinax, it's not what I think it will be, and then when I smell that and go, yes, this is a Popinax.
It's because it's that thing you weren't expecting.
yeah.
It to be.
But it's lovely, isn't it?
There's something about this. So all of these things are very traditional, but they're from different traditions. So I want to take that and incorporate them. Now, of
Feels
course,
very adventurous.
the question of whether or not we do have tincture of Great Aunt Pera in there is going to be unanswered.
Yeah.
As I still own Great Aunt Pera.
So,
She wants to be scattered. She wanted to be scattered on Eastbourne Beach. I just haven't been there since 1997. Which is quite a long time, I think.
yeah.
I'm just going to get the rose. So, do we not? Then we obviously we don't, because that would be terrible. But it's something I've been talking about on the perfume community for a long time.
What
we
would-
make a tincture of Great Aunt Pera?
What would it smell like?
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's the trouble. I mean, we can't. The ambergris tincture, you have to wait a year to see what it smells like. I can't believe we're actually talking about it that way. But it is in
Oh,
the
it
story.
disappeared. Again.
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah. Hypothetical, yeah. Yeah. I think that's the sound. Doesn't contain tincture of Great Aunt Pera. Or does it? Okay, this is the Rose Absolute. So I also have the Rose Ultimate, but that is made from South of France roses. I could use that as well. A merger of Moroccan and French. So this is the Moroccan Rose Absolute.
It's just so good.
Suppliers currently making the perfume.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough
do
to
that
be
as well.
here to,
So there will be musks. I don't want to make it sweet. There were a lot of very sweet perfumes around at the time. There was a lot of vanillin going on there. There was a lot of ethyl vanillin and fruity smells, which made fragrances quite... It was like post-depression. People wanted fluffy, sweet fragrances. This is not a new thing, the whole candy thing now. It's not, nothing is new in this world. But I don't want to do that, because that's not... Pera's not fluffy. She used to say she wished she liked people better. But most of them are just too stupid. So... she wasn't fluffy, she just wouldn't. Bergamot is going to be a big part of it. So the bergamot, these, I've got some aged cistus here as well to smell.
What is aged cistus?
Cistus. Okay, cistus is from the same plant, the cistus ladaniferus, as labdanum.
Oh, okay.
But labdanum is made from the resinous bits that they kind of leak out of the twigs and they're quite sticky. The Cistus Absolute that I have here, that is made from the twigs and the leaves,
Okay.
as opposed to the sticky sap.
Although this is not.
This is not that. This is something else which generally goes into cheaper fragrances.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, see, look, learning something.
Good.
I did not think that.
Yes. Chat and learn.
Yeah.
Learn and chat.
I did not think this goes in there.
And it is patchouli. Yes. Yes. So in there with the oak moss and usually a Popanax or labdanum or both.
Do you know, you say it, I recognise it, and I'm like, yes, okay, I understand why it's in there. But when you first smell a chypre, that's not what you get. I never get patchouli.
Good, because I don't really want you to. I want to put... I mean, there's some things that we've made where you can definitely smell the patchouli, like, say, Court of Ravens.
Yes.
It's there. But, and even Raw Silver Red Roses, that's quite patchouli. But some of the others... So I've got the oak moss, the Popanax and patchouli together here. And that's like... That's like the little beating heart at the bottom of the... It's the fuel cell. It's the light bulb, whatever it is.
I've mixed mine up. Can I smell it?
You can borrow mine. Correct answer.
Yeah.
So the only other thing I do want to get out then is this. Since I talked about it, the aged cistus. And I've got a modern Cistus Absolute as well, which is a bit less sticky.
Wow.
It takes some getting.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, I should have.
It's so cool.
I've got it
Quite
diluted
funny.
as well, but yeah. And it's green.
Yeah.
You'll be able to smell just a little bit of that. So
Well, thank you.
it's worth
wow.
digging the stuff out. It's very soluble. That's handy.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think I prefer this over the labdanum.
Yeah.
I know it might be a bit controversial to say,
No,
but
it's fine.
I love this.
I find this to be a little bit more... I don't know. It's weirdly sort of honey-ish,
Yeah.
but honey that you've scraped out of the twigs. I mean, you still, I know.
Yeah, it's kind of like a honey, it's in the foliage and it's all underneath the leaves. And it's just brilliant.
So there is, so when I say I don't want to make things sweet, this is, I think this is, if you tasted it almost, it would feel astringent and dry.
Yeah.
But it's got sort of aroma of honey, but not the sugary bit.
I feel like it would have like this almost a weird, maybe not sour, but it's like if you taste it, it kind of leave an aftertaste.
And then it makes me want to go.
Yeah.
I won't. Don't do that, children. No. So the practicalities then. So this perfumes form in my head before they form in a beaker somewhere. So currently this is at formation in head stage, because I'm going to have to be so careful with the attas, because I mean it's mostly sandalwood, but the delicate parts, the pot part and the saffron part are the ones that we're going to have to be quite carefully handled so they don't just disappear. Also, really expensive. Most expensive thing on the table? No, the orris is the most expensive thing, but that's quite robust. That lasts quite well. It almost seems to spread when you use it. So practicalities then. Let's just indicate quite how large bottles are, so people know that we will do our 4 sizes.
Yes. 100 mils.
Yes, 50 mils.
30.
15, but they'll look like this. They'll be the ones with the black bottles and the
black caps.
Yeah, gunmetal indeed. They're called gunmetal caps and pumps. That's what they'll come in. I was thinking of making 2, but then I can't remember what the second one was, so I think we'll just keep it simple. I know, I was thinking of making one of Uncle William's.
That can be next year's one.
Yes. Exactly. I think I better not get too complicated. That goes there. That lives there. Yes. And that came from over there. Yep. I remember. Now we're being tidy. I remember to put things back. Questions, Arthur? Are there things that we've forgotten to say?
So this
oh yes, it will be able to subscribe probably until when I press go. It will be up for 60 days.
Okay.
There go the police. And if we if we choose to extend it, if people are going, no, I missed it, we can one-off choose to extend it if we need to. But really we want to be able to count how many bottles to make after the 60 days. Yeah. And then we can keep a hold on it and get it all organised, and we'll probably make a bit extra for the people who go, you know, but I missed it. But the point of the first batch is because if people subscribe to it, then we can do the development, because I've got enough stuff to do all the development. Then only at the end of the 60 days do we get the money. And then when we get the money, then we can buy this, make the big batch. And then it's got to mature, because we can't rush this. And then it's got to macerate with the alcohol in it, because we can't rush this. And then people will get the perfume. So it's not going to be available straight away. We need to make that absolutely clear. We've got to wait, check that it's just right, do all the stability tests, and then we can release it. So it's going to be spring in the Northern Hemisphere.
In the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Snazzy. Great. If people want to hear the story,
yes,
they can go to At Your Peril and listen to The Family Legacy, which is written and narrated by Sarah, which is what this perfume is based on. Yeah, and also go to Indiegogo and search for At Your Peril Perfume. And that's how you can get it. Yes. And it will occur. It's going dark again. Fade.